Hello, friends, and welcome. If you're ambitious, spiritual, and you know that you are meant for more, then you're in the right place. I'm Heidi, a master mindset coach, and after over a decade climbing the corporate ladder, I found myself burned out, anxious, and disconnected from who I truly was. And that's when I discovered the world of personal development. I realized that I had been subconsciously programmed through my upbringing to perform, prove, and to shrink myself to fit in. I did the work required to rewire my subconscious mind. I redefined my identity, and I walked away from a six-figure corporate job so that I could build a purpose-led life on my terms. And now I help purpose-driven individuals like you do the same so that you can reprogram your subconscious mind, embody your next level identity, and unlock the success that you're truly meant for in your career, income, and across all areas of your life. On this channel, you are going to learn the mindset shifts, subconscious healing tools, and practical strategies to become the most confident, prosperous, and fulfilled version of you. So let's unlock your next level together. On today's video, I want to talk about the topic of getting unstuck. Because if you're watching this video, you are looking for simple how-tos and a strategy to get you unstuck so that you can get on with your life and get back to feeling like you have a sense of purpose, right? I remember that time all too well. It was about 3 or 4 years in time where I just felt stuck. Every day looked exactly like the last, and I didn't see a way out. I would ask myself over and over, is this all there is? I had everything that I wanted. I checked off every box on the list of the things I was supposed to do to feel happy, and yet there I was, morning after morning, feeling dread to get out of my bed. Every night also brought on a sense of dread, which caused me to have issues with sleeping. I was up all night, terrible insomnia, and it would just roll into the next day where I wasn't feeling my best, I wasn't performing my best, and just overall feeling stuck, like I didn't know how to get out of this. I want to share with you a couple of strategies that I wish someone would have told me to do, because I had to piece it all together. I knew that this wasn't life, that this wasn't how I'm supposed to live life. So I went on a rabbit hole of research and I just followed little clues and I pieced together what I'm now going to serve to you, and I wish someone would have given to me in a beautiful package list to help me get out of that cycle. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe it had to happen so that now I can bring it to you in a more simplified way, and I hope this serves you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If some things resonate, go with it, dive deep into it, and if something just doesn't feel right at the moment, then let it go, put it on pause, put it on the back burner, and maybe revisit this video again at a later time. So one thing that I would encourage you to do in order to get unstuck is to focus on relearning yourself. When I was stuck, I didn't know really who I was. I was looking externally to people to tell me what to do and who I was, and I was also outsourcing all of my decision making to other people and not myself. I wasn't trusting myself. I was really lost in who I was. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. So how do you start to relearn yourself? The first place I would encourage you to look at is your astrology. It might sound a little woo-woo, but like I said at the intro, if you are spiritual, then you are in the right place, and this might resonate with you after all. Focus on learning everything you can about your astrology, just the aspects that feel like you can digest them. So your sun sign is how you are intended to show up in the world, and your moon sign, which is, in my understanding, how you think, how you process information in the world. Those two things, along with your sun and rising sign, both your sun and rising sign will really give you a lot of clues as to how you are supposed to show up in the world. See how that information lands. So if you have your birth information, I think a website like astrochart.com, or look at other places online that call to you, get your birth information. You'll need your birth date, your time of birth, and the place of birth. Other things you'll learn in your astrology chart are how you are supposed to bring in your income, which is the part of fortune. And when you learn your part of fortune, you'll understand how you are best aligned to bring in your wealth and bring in your income. You'll also understand what is most in alignment career-wise. I was in corporate over 10 years, and I learned through my chart that I'm really not supposed to be working in organizations in that manner. That my ideal structure, which I always knew, but I always thought I was wrong for thinking that way, are ones in which I am not reporting into anyone, where I am very self-led and I can follow my own heart and intuition and my own leadership. I do work well within groups and I thrive off of working within groups, but I am best positioned to thrive and to succeed when I am following my own rhythm, if that makes sense. And for a long time, I always struggled with that internally. I thought that I was wrong for wanting to not report into someone. I thought I was wrong for just wanting to follow what I wanted to do. And the structures around me were not set up in that way to validate how I was feeling. So long story short, astrology really started to give me more clues as to how I was intended to show up in the world. Some things didn't resonate right away because I was not ready to hear that information, and some things definitely helped calibrate me back into something that felt good for me to follow and to tune into and to practice embodying on a day-to-day. Now, the next thing is my favorite thing when it comes to relearning about yourself is human design. In human design, you are going to understand your energetic blueprint. And what that means is how you are supposed to show up in the world, make decisions, and your overall purpose in this life. Human design was the most profound. It's the one that shook me the most, the one that hit a reset button on everything I thought was supposed to be true about my life. Human design gave me the realization that I had been going against the grain my entire life, and that no wonder I always felt like I didn't fit in because I was operating completely against my human design. There are, I believe, 5 profiles in human design that everyone falls into, one of them being generator, manifesting generator, a manifester, a projector, and a reflector. Most of the population are generators, and then about 20% of the population are projectors, which is what I fall under. I am not a human design expert, but I can share with you what I have learned so far. Projectors and their energy type. We are here to master systems, guide others, and we don't have consistent access to energy. We can get a lot done in a short amount of time and rest. So in a regular corporate structure where you are meant to show up 9 to 5 and every hour on the hour, be consistent in your energy and deliver and grinding all the time and be on all the time, it caused me completely to burn out. And I thought it was a me problem. But through human design, I started to understand and see the patterns in which I was operating against my energy type. I also learned through being a projector that I am here to be invited into opportunities. It is completely against my design or my energy type to insert myself into opportunities or to be in front of everyone saying, look at me, but I'm here, look at my value, look at what I bring to the table, pick me, pick me. That's exactly what I was doing my entire life and why I was feeling so bitter about instances in which I felt I was being overlooked. The last thing around relearning yourself is numerology. This one kind of goes with astrology, where it might be a little more woo for some, but again, it gives you a clue into how you are supposed to show up in the world and what to expect from an energetic standpoint of every year. So every year, your numerology changes for the year. You have a personal number that is yours based on your birth year and your birth date, but your annual number for every year will change because the year changes. In a nutshell, it's you add up your birthday, your birth month, and the year in which we are currently in, and it gives you a number, and that number carries with it an energy. For me, I'm in a personal year 4, and my understanding, the personal year 4 is all about setting foundations, which is completely aligned with exactly where I happen to be in this point in time in my life. It's foundations in career, foundations in health, foundations in home. So it's almost like looking at everything that surrounds you and all the things that you engage with, and reestablishing foundations like the foundation of a house so that you can build on top of that with more certainty and more grip and more stability. So far, I've talked about astrology, human design, and numerology. There are many other aspects or places that you can look at to relearn yourself, and I invite you to explore those on your own. But the main message here is learn more about yourself. Get to know yourself again. You likely have been operating against how you were intended to show up in this world, and it is a great time when you're in the process of getting unstuck to learn more about yourself. So next, I would love to talk about reconnecting with your intuition. As you are working to get unstuck, it's so important and so valuable to start to listen to the inner voice within you, and that's your intuition. When I was stuck, I felt I had zero connection to my intuition because we all have it. We just stopped listening to it because we think that the answers are outside of us. And like I said earlier in the video, I was outsourcing my decisions to everybody. I didn't know how to make a decision for myself because I needed everyone else's perspective on the matter before I could make a decision. And even when I did make a decision, I wasn't sure if that was the right one. So I was making decisions not even fully trusting myself. Reconnecting with that inner voice is going to be pivotal because the more you learn to get quiet with yourself and to listen to how it speaks to you in certain situations and even on the day-to-day, this is going to take you so far and will be really pivotal in getting you into momentum again, into movement from where you are stuck now. Now we want to get you into momentum, and little by little, as you begin to listen to your voice and get comfortable with listening to yourself and not just the outside world. Like, you can still listen to the outside world and outside perspective, but at the end of it all, at night when you go to bed with yourself and with your thoughts and with your inner guidance system. So learn to listen to your intuition. One thing that you can do to practice listening to your intuition is start small. Start with the next meal. What is the next meal that you're going to have? Should you have the fried rice or should you have the pizza? So think about that. Feel how it feels in your body to know which one of the two dishes is calling you forward, and do that with everything moving forward. If you want a video specific to how to listen to your intuition, I'd love to hear from you and I would love to put something together for you. But overall, what you need to know in this next step of gaining momentum, coming out of being stuck into movement, is learning to listen to your intuition. The next thing I love to talk to you about is grounding your nervous system. If you are feeling stuck, like I was feeling stuck, chances are your nervous system is completely dysregulated and you are likely in a freeze-fawn state, which is where you're not making any movement or you are leaning into people-pleasing tendencies and just doing what everyone else is telling you to do because that seems easier and you don't want to have any conflict. So grounding your nervous system and learning how to regulate your nervous system is going to be so valuable for you on this journey because it's also going to serve you well beyond when you are in your next level on the quote other side of this, and well beyond as you continue to grow in your life. So grounding your nervous system, how do you go about doing that? A couple of things that you can do is a morning walk. Get in touch again with your nature surroundings, with looking up at the sky, looking at the sun in the morning as soon as you wake up. Look at the trees around you. If you can, walk barefoot on grass and just be outside for a little while every single day. I know that for me, while being in corporate, I was indoors all day. I would get out of bed, brush my teeth, grab my coffee, do my breakfast, get in the car, drive to work, get into the big concrete building with all the fluorescent lights until 8 o'clock at night, get into my car again, back home for dinner, and then repeat. So I really didn't have time outside at all throughout the day. And I would encourage you to look for pockets in your day where you can be outside for a little bit and just feel the wind on your face, listen to the wind flowing through your ears, and be outside for a little bit. Something else that you can do to ground and regulate your nervous system is meditation. Think about incorporating it 5 to 10 minutes at a time. I would love to bring forward to you some more meditation audios in the future, so I would love to hear what specific types of meditations you would like to listen to, and I'd love to create one for you. For me, what was really helpful during this phase in life is guided meditations. I could not be left alone to my thoughts, so hearing someone tell me exactly when to breathe in, when to breathe out, telling me exactly what to think in terms of picture this beautiful bright light taking over your body and now it's going down your neck and your chest and your shoulders, that was really helpful for me in getting me out of spiraling thoughts and just focusing on what the facilitator was saying around relaxing and clearing my thoughts. So look for 5 to 10 minute meditations that you can do once a day, every day. Find a time in the day where you feel that you can disconnect from the world for 5 to 10 minutes and slowly bring it into your practice on a daily basis, knowing that the ultimate reason why you're doing this is for more clarity, to be reconnected with yourself, to have just a sense of breath throughout your day. And speaking of breath, the next thing I would recommend as you ground and regulate your nervous system is breath work, reconnecting to your breath. I had no idea that this was a thing when I got into personal development. I thought that breathing was just something we did. I didn't know we could use our breath as a tool to ground us back into our body, to reconnect us to our intuition, to reconnect us to our vision, and also to release things that weren't serving me at the time, to work through some tough emotions of anxiety and frustration and bitterness and resentment. I was able to use breath work as a way to come back to my body and feel like I could live in my body in peace. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know, write a comment, and let me know if you'd like to hear more about breath work. The next thing that we would want to do around grounding your nervous system when you are moving from feeling stuck and wanting to get into momentum is EFT tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. This was a transformational tool for me. It is a tool that I am now certified as a master practitioner, helping my clients use EFT tapping to work through stuck emotions or feelings that they can't fully process verbally. We tap into the body to give us the information we need so that we can regulate the nervous system, get back to a state of calm, and be able to listen to what our subconscious mind wants us to know at the time as it relates to working through perhaps a tough emotion. What does tapping look like? Just like the word says, we tap. We use meridian points across the body. Think when you're using acupuncture, the little acupuncture needles, and they put them around your body to tap into certain energy points. We're doing the same thing, but without the needles, and we're doing it with our hands, with our fingers. So there's certain points in our body, and I'm going to point to them as I keep talking, certain points in our body that if we tap on them while speaking out loud certain words and certain phrases that I would walk you through as a one-on-one client, we can work through an emotion like anxiety and understand where it's showing up in the body, what it's trying to tell us, and we can work through it and release it so that you can get back to a state of calm, of ease, of peace, and think about the more useful information that our subconscious mind has for us, and be a more grounded individual and be in a more grounded state. That is another tool that I have to offer you when you are in a moment of feeling stuck and you want to get unstuck and move into momentum, is using a tool like EFT tapping. The next thing I would say around regulating your nervous system is reevaluating your nighttime routine for a quality sleep. Now, why is this important? Sleep, we need it to rest and recalibrate recalibrate and regenerate and have our cells do what they need to do overnight to have us be healthy, alert, and a functioning, healthy human being in the daytime. If your nighttime routine is all about just scrolling on social media until 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not getting good quality sleep based on your particular needs. That can be anywhere from 6 to 8 to 9 hours of sleep. If you are overriding that and not giving yourself enough time to shut down completely and rest and rejuvenate, of course, the next day you are going to wake up still feeling frazzled and high anxiety and high heart rate and overthinking and spiraling. So I really encourage you to reevaluate your nighttime routine and think about, is it working for you right now? And what steps can you do to get back to a place where you are feeling rested and nourished after a good night's sleep? The next thing around getting unstuck, and something that I wish I knew when I was in the process of wanting to get unstuck and getting into momentum and getting into movement and getting to the other side of things, was knowing my values. Your values are your guiding principles for your life. They are like your North Star, your compass, and when you know your values, every decision that you make becomes easier because you know you are making decisions based on what you value most in life. There are tools online that can help you figure out your values. You can also work with a coach to help you elicit your values and understand what's important to you. You can have values for your life in general as an umbrella, but you could also have values as it relates to specific areas in your life. So you could have very specific values for health that might be different from your values in career, but there might be some overlap and some undercurrents throughout your life as it relates to your values. So really thinking about, what do you value most in life? And when I ask you that, what starts to come up? So like I said, there are tools online that you can go to and you can research that for yourself. There's fun little quizzes that you can take, or assessments, and they'll figure it out for you and spit out results. And that's when you can get to understand what you have been valuing all along, and maybe where you've been going against your values and where you have been always going alongside your values. So some of my values, to give you an idea of what those could look like or sound like, when I did my values for business and career, as I was pivoting my career into coaching, is freedom, autonomy, service, opportunity, and simplicity. Those are the 5 things that are most important to me when I think about my career and business. The freedom to do whatever I want, and through there comes the wealth and income. Autonomy, to be able to be self-led and follow what I want to do in the moment that feels good to me. Service is important to me because all the work that I do, I want it to be in service of others. This is not just for me. This is for you, for everyone else, because I want everyone else to know what I know so that you can change your life. My other value of opportunity is to always be opening opportunities for myself and opening opportunities for others. And simplicity. It needs to feel simple to run my business and run my career. That's an example of what values sound like. Those are my particular values. Another thing to know about values is that they can change over time. As you grow and as you evolve, these may change. Some may stay the same, but some may change, and that is okay. And that is the point of life. I want this to already be a bit of an invitation to let you know that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to grow and evolve, and for the things that you used to value once to now be something different, and that is all okay. In a moment like this, especially when we're feeling stuck and like we're not getting anywhere, and that the day before looks exactly like the day before that and the day before that, your values will help you little by little get back into alignment and get back into knowing yourself and following what truly calls to you and living a more authentic life. The next thing I would recommend for you is to follow your curiosity and your interests with no strings attached. attached. This is a very sensitive time where you feel a lot of pressure in having to make a decision or maybe change your career, maybe pivot in some area of your life. Let's release the pressure from you right now. And instead, I want you to think about what is calling your attention. What are the little breadcrumbs that you can follow without any expectation on following that desire and making it become something like a new business or a new career or having it be an income portal of any type. So what could your curiosity be? It could be signing up for a course that really called your attention in a subject that could be completely opposite of what you have been dedicating your life to or what your career has been about. It could be attending an event. Lean into a hobby that feels interesting without it having to mean anything other than you just leaning into your curiosity of what is piquing your interest at that moment in time. This will slowly bring you back to center, bring you back to who you are, and bring you back into authenticity. The next thing I have for you that I wish someone would have shared with me is give yourself something small to look forward to every day. If every day is starting to feel exactly like the last, then you need to break up that pattern by giving yourself something small to look forward to every day. It could be a class that you signed up for, something that has to do with a new hobby that you're leaning into, but that something small is something that you are looking forward to every day. By breaking the pattern of every day feels exactly the same, now you have something small to look forward to. This is all about realigning to yourself and getting back to authenticity to yourself and relearning who you are and breaking the pattern in a way that feels really good to you by giving you something to look forward to. The next is reconnect with your sense of pleasure around the small things in your life. Something that I took for granted in the moment in time that I was feeling stuck were the things that when I reconnected with them gave me a newfound sense of pleasure and joy, and also became something I looked forward to in my everyday. Reconnecting with your sense of pleasure could be something as small as your coffee in the morning. Maybe start to make your coffee in a beautiful mug that you recently purchased, or maybe a beautiful mug that you love in your cupboard that you haven't used in a while, and take your coffee out to your balcony or your backyard. Or if you don't have either of those things, is there a corner of your home that you can sit and just enjoy your coffee and marvel at your coffee as if it's the first time that you're seeing your beautiful coffee in that beautiful mug? It's reintroducing to your body what pleasure feels like, because what's happened up to now is that every day looks like the last. We have created a habit system where our minds just register everything as same as yesterday. Okay, pour the cup of coffee, drink it, grab the car keys, get into the car and go to work. It no longer has become something fun, and we want to break that pattern and start to re-energize your body and reconnect your body with something so small, something very small that starts to bring back some feeling and sensation in your body. What this also does is that we are seeking answers outside of us by reconnecting with little pleasures around us, like as small as a cup of coffee, or maybe it's the pleasure of going through your wardrobe every day and picking out a really fun outfit that aligns with who you are and makes you feel really great, or the simple pleasure of putting on red lipstick. Those things will bring back new sensation in your body, or reconnect with sensation that you used to be connected to but then became numb to, and little by little this will start to reawaken something within you. It reawakens levity, it reawakens joy, it reawakens a sense of looking for small things to be happy about. When we're taking these little baby steps, like I've been walking you through up to now, when we do these little steps, they compound. All of these things together compound to movement, momentum, and finally giving you the spark that you needed, or the idea that you needed, or the answers that you've been looking for. They will just come naturally, but it all comes from getting to know yourself, getting back into your body, listening to yourself again. The next is reading. Good old reading. If you're not the type of person who loves to open up a book and read, think about an audiobook. If you subscribe to Spotify Premium, there's tons of free books. I think you get something like 6 hours a month for free in your Spotify Premium account. So take advantage of that. So 3 books that I think will be very helpful for you in this time. The first one would be The Upper Limit by Gay Hendricks. The second is The Mountain Is You by Brianne Wiest or Wiest. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but she's an incredible author, and I'm already, I think, on a third book of hers because she's written about 9. And the last one is Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. Any of these 3 and all 3 are going to be so supportive in this time. These books are going to immerse you in a very different way of thinking. They are going to spotlight your blind spots that we all have, and they are going to meet you where you are in this particular moment in time. And I bet that if you are feeling stuck right now, how I felt stuck, all 3 of these books combined will give you a whole new perspective on life and will fill you with a new sense of motivation. You're going to feel like there's more possibility available to you, and they're just going to be overall really supportive. So filling your mind with supportive things to show it evidence that you are not going to be here forever and there is another way, there's a different perspective to see always. And then the last piece I will leave you with, and at the moment in time I didn't know that was available to me because I didn't come into coaching until much later in my journey. I would have worked with a coach like myself. Working with a coach is going to be next level. If you feel like you are ready to work with a one-on-one coach in combination with all of the other things that I just talked about, this is just going to be next level for you, because working one-on-one with someone, it's going to help you uncover the unhelpful patterns, and it's going to help you decipher what's happening at a subconscious level for you right now. There's nothing like one-on-one support. When you're piecing everything together, it is quite empowering in a way because you show yourself that you can figure things out, that you can get your answers, and you can lead yourself through hard times or tough times or times of feeling stuck. And by adding in a coach, you're just going to catapult your results. Having someone who has been trained to listen, because not everyone can listen. A trained coach knows what to listen for when you are expressing yourself and when you are detailing aspects of your experience. They'll know exactly what to look for and how to identify your patterns, see your blind spots, and mirror back to you in the most compassionate way, because a coach is there to support you, to be a champion for you, to hold your hand and help you be accountable, but to also remind you of your own power and give you the tools to help you see that within yourself, so that when the relationship has come to an end between you and a coach, you can continue on in your life with those tools and that remembrance of how powerful and capable you are. And then when you're ready for that next big jump, then you come back and you work with that same coach or with another coach who can meet you where you are in that next level of life. That is what I have for you today. These are the things that I wish someone would have served up for me in a beautiful silver platter and told me, listen, if you're feeling stuck right now and you don't know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this spiral and patterns that don't work for you and these loops, here's everything that you need to start incorporating, and without a timeline. Let's also make that clear that you're doing all of this without a timeline. If you feel that you need to give yourself a timeline, who am I to tell you don't give yourself a timeline? You know your life better than I do, and unless we are working together one-on-one, I won't know that. So this is a very general lay of the land of everything that I think will help you, that I wish someone would have given me and that I had to piece together. So I'm hoping from the bottom of my heart that this this will set you off on a path of self-discovery and get you back to a place where you remember how powerful, capable, and worthy you are of living a life that is beyond your wildest dreams, and that you will soon be in a place where you will look back at this experience and say, wow, I really learned and grew, and I created this vision from that moment in time. And you will see this moment in time as a catapult, as a foundation piece, as a slingshot, a moment in time that you were being pulled back. But like a slingshot, when it's being pulled back, it creates resistance, because when that ball is let go from that slingshot, you just swing forward, and that is what all this is here to help you do. I hope this was helpful, my friends. Whatever resonated with you, I want to know. Let me know in the comments what felt the most resonant for you. I also want to know, what questions do you have? Do you want to go deeper in some of these aspects? Do you want to know more? Let me know. I'd be so happy to chat with you in the comments and to create more resources for you in the future. So thank you so much for being here and for listening through, and I will see you in the next video.